Use the referral link in the description to g2a.com for all of your Xbox codes, PlayStation codes and video games, and be sure to use the code CHES at checkout to get yourself 3% cash back. Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of the third season here at Sunderland. We're in the Championship and we will begin our Championship season today. With Hull first off, we'll play that game as it's the first game of the season in a new division. And then we'll probably also play Derby and sim the rest of the month. We are looking for a centre-back, and you guys have given us a number of suggestions to look at. As you can see here, the most popular were Tamori, Concert and Godfrey. I'm going to be scouting Concert and Godfrey whilst we already can see Tamori's stats. Tamori, an Englishman that is currently at Nuremberg, although obviously he starts off in England in the regular save. Concert still at Brentford. Believe he's been there since the beginning of the save, similarly with Ben Godfrey at Norwich. With regards to potential striker, I said that I would perhaps lean towards giving the youth that we've got a try, and if it isn't working out, then by January we'll sign someone in. When it comes to January, these were two of the potential strikers we could sign. Obviously, Che Adams and Neil Maupay were two of the best goal scorers last year in real life in the Championship. Not currently in the Championship in this save, but certainly two players that I would consider for this Sunderland team. But we'll wait and see what Maupay's stats actually look like. But as you can see, Che Adams, pace and strength. Only 5'10", but still really good stats. Can improve his dribbling, and then he'd probably be an incredible striker. Maupay, I'm not sure what his stats look like, but similar sort of potential, I believe. But looking at centre-back, I am actually leaning towards Tamori. But I would like to see what Konsa and Godfrey's stats are. But Tamori is just an inch taller at 6'1", and I don't know. I find myself leaning towards him. I don't know why. Genuinely don't know. Just happens to be the way that my brain is working. We shall go and play Hull then at the first game of the episode. We've got the full month of August to work with. We have a couple of players left to be sold, I think, on the shortlist. Jonathan Watson's talking about Will Grigg's spot, but it's Harrison that's gotten the spot in the starting lineup for now. Although obviously that's only ahead of Jamal Lowe, who's out injured. Watson is actually my fourth choice striker. We do have a couple of strikers here that could grow over the course of the season. Reece Bennett, I'm really not sure about him, but 6'2" Harrison Green is getting there with regards to his pace. He's already got good strength in jumping. Agility and balance aren't the best, but as you can see there, his technicals do need improving, but there's plenty of time for them to improve. So I'm going to add him into the training regime. A number of people have said to stop training Ratiu. So I shall take Ratiu out of the training regimes and replace him with that striker. Colker and Dunn, Lowe and Justin is the way that, well, basically this is how the team is going to look, other than Harrison will come out for Jamal Lowe when Jamal Lowe is fit again. But for the time being, that's how the team looks. And we're giving Sam Nicholson some first team football on the left hand side ahead of Jack Clark just for the time being. Jack Clark was decent last year in simulated games, but in played games didn't really do it for me that much. So I'm going to give Sam Nicholson the chance to see if Jack can make the impact off the bench. But I'm going to stop training Ratiu now. Continue to train players like Ward and Watson and Murphy and Harrison. And hopefully the youth will prove good enough to help us be competitive in the Championship. So let's go and start at home against Hull, and then we'll take it from there. And Ravel Morrison is there. He's grown to 79 rated now, so still improving, Ravel Morrison. A few calls to change to a 4-1-2-1-2 to have Ravel Morrison at cam and Drew Yearwood as a CDM, but I'm not too keen on that formation personally. I don't like how it plays, so I'm going to stick with my 4-4-2 for the time being. We might later in the save switch to maybe a 4-2-3-1, but we'd still like two strikers up top, and I'd like Ravel Morrison and Drew Yearwood to continue as a centre mid pairing. So I think this is the best way to get enough out of them. I could perhaps manually move Ravel Morrison slightly further forward in this formation in the settings. Irvin's going to have the first shot of the Championship season here, and Bettinelli makes the save. I could manually do it by doing this, just adjust adjust his position slightly and move him slightly further forward in a central area, and have Drew Eward slightly more deeper like that. But I certainly would like still to have that midfield pairing. In fact, Ravel Morrison's a little bit too far forward there for my liking. We'll put him as a right centre mid. So I could try that, but I prefer the 4-4-2 over the 4-1-2-1-2. John Torrell, former Arsenal man, is going to take this corner for Hull, and it's whipped in decently. Kamara knocks that down to Irvin, but Corcup will get the ball away, and that's really well worked. Gooch forward there to Harrison, will go all the way out to the left-hand side to Max Lowe. Sam Nicholson is making the run down the line, so we'll play him into the space. We might have our first chance of the Championship season. He's got past Tonali there. We'll cut this back. Oh, it's not where that was meant for Harrison. A misplaced pass denies us the opportunity of a goal here at home. It's nice to start at home in front of our own fans in the new division. Maguire, look through there for Harrison. It's going to drop back to Sean Maguire, and it's a good save by David Marshall down low. We did get our first chance of the Championship season, but unfortunately for us, similarly with Hull, didn't go in. Good save by the keeper. Free kick for Hull. Henriksen will throw the ball forward, and Stewart won the initial header. And the second one drops to Kamara. Oh, full stretch there, Bettinelli, to keep that out. Really well hit by Kamara. Corner coming from that far, so you can see from the top left, my passing has not been good enough so far. Only 75% accuracy. Corker's clearance goes back out for a corner. And we had a Sunderland man in the goal mouth then. See if we can get rid of this one. Ramadan Sobhi with the cross. And it's going to be flicked on by Henriksen, but kept in by Torrell. And here's Carl Stewart. Henriksen. Not sure which way Hull are going to go here, other than backwards at the moment. Kamara, Henriksen, Stewart. Quite happy in possession here, Hull City, and it's really worked well for them. And it's a top quality goal. Hull 1, Sunderland 0. Irvin with the finish. It's nice football. Here's Irvin played in behind. Hull are a good team. They're proving it here. Ramadan Sobhi could deliver this into the middle eventually and does so, but Corker will hack away. Pretty sure he didn't aim that pass there. Let me double check. I can't quite believe. Let's see which. Yeah, so I aim it that way to go towards, well, it's poorly aimed, but it's supposed to go towards Harrison there. And that's what it gives me. Back where it came from. It nearly ends up with me conceding a goal. Thanks, game. If they get a goal from this corner. Angry Cheesenoid. Torrell with the delivery. Gooch with the header away. Here's McDonald. Kamara. They've had 68% possession here. That's going to be a goal kick. Hopefully, no, it's another corner. We are really under pressure here at the end of the first half. Quite the difficult welcoming to the Championship at the minute from Hull City. Here's Irvin. Crosshead to Stewart. Oh my God, and they are so good in possession. Ramadan Sobhi back there to Henriksen. Cross to Irvin and back again here to Stewart. Very much like to get in at half-time with just a 1-0 scoreline. Quite happy to play the ball about here, but they're not actually going anywhere with it at the moment. Now, though, they'll score. Why do I open my big mouth? Irvin's second of the game. Hull's second of the game. We're 2-0 down. Maguire out to Sam Nicholson. Maguire's gone again. Play the ball in behind Eric Lehigh there. Look for Harrison. Good first touch. Good headed by James Justin. Quickly around the corner there by Ravel Morrison. Harrison will dink this over the top, looking for Lyndon Gooch, who's onside. The American whips it towards the back post. Maguire's there. We're back in the game. Let's go. Just 5 minutes gone in the second half, and it's Sunderland 1, Hull City 2. Lovely little chipped ball over by Harrison, and I'll be honest, the cross was for Nicholson, but Maguire buries it, and we'll take it. Back in the game, very early doors. 39 minutes to find ourselves at least one more.
The two sides.
Camera forward there to Torrell. Pushing a lot of bodies forward here, Hull, but they're so good in possession that it's really difficult to deal with. Torrell cross here to Eric Lehigh's push forward. It was an American crossing it in that led to a goal for us. American involved in the build-up for them, and Irvin has a hat-trick. Hull City are absolutely deadly, it seems, and Irvin is ridiculously clinical. Just on his edge, on the edge. Not particularly well placed. Wasn't right in the corner, but just a shot power enough. Keeper dived really late. A hat-trick for Irvin. On the opening day of the championship season, we thought we were back in it. We were wrong. Just tore out. Down the line looking for Will Keane, who's going to race onto it. Cross is decent. Headed up by Austin and eventually away. Maguire into the path of Sam Nicholson. It's a heavy touch, but we are going to squeeze it back to Sean Maguire. The space is opening up now. Lyndon Goots racing away here. Waiting for the man to come towards me, which he hasn't done. Pull this back for a teammate, and Ravel Morrison squeezes it in off the post. Really nice finish. 3-2. We're back in it again. Only this time, we're only 5 minutes to get ourselves an equaliser. Really nice finish, actually. We'll take that. But it still might not give us anything. It was his last kick of the game, Ravel Morrison. Going off for Ratiu. Jack Clark coming on for Sam Nicholson. But I think it might be too little, too late. Into Irvin. Across to Ramadan Sobhi. Nice little dummy. Time's run out on us now. We are going to be losing this one by 3-2 at home against Hull City. Irvin with the hat-trick on the opening day. 4 shots, 3 goals. Very clinical from him. Never mind. Hull are... I had 3 shots, 2 on target, and they both went in. Wasn't that creative though. To be fair, towards the end of the first half, I'd only had 38% possession, so I'm still perhaps quite pleased to have scored 2 goals in that game. Right, I'm going to take Ratiu out of here, and we're going to introduce the other young striker into the training regime. I'm surely tempted to stop training Harrison as well, but for the time being we might keep going just until he and Watson are both like 73, 74 maybe. But I'm going to start... Whoop, no, not begin... Oh, I didn't want to begin training. Just ended up simulating the rest. I got an A in the one that I played, and then sim the rest. I'll do the training next week. Just a misclick, but never mind. It's Derby up for us next. We'll get the 2 played games out of the way, and then we can concentrate on getting the transfers done to use them for the first time in the next episode. Don't think I've got anyone else left to sell other than McLaughlin, the goalkeeper now. Oh, and Kim Poyoka, but we're not getting any offers for either of them, so I'm not particularly hopeful that anything will actually come of it. Wait and see what happens in this next game against Derby. A loan offer for Morgan Edwards. No, I'm going to continue to train Morgan Edwards whilst he's here at the club, and we'll let him grow naturally here rather than send him out on loan where he might not necessarily... Well, he's not going to get first team football here, but he might not necessarily get first team football there either. Big offer for Max Lowe there of £8 million from PSV, but we're going to turn it down. He's 75 rated now, Max Lowe, growing really nicely. Not the most comprehensive of left backs, but still very, very capable. Right, Derby away. This one is certainly not going to be easy at all. The first one was particularly difficult too. This championship season might be quite tough. Justin, get it there to Ravel Morrison. Derby closing me down very quickly. Harrison, it's a nice little turn there. This hold-up play's been decent. Ravel Morrison bangs it tops. Ravel Morrison having more of an impact this season than he did last in just the opening 2 games of the season, or game and a bit. And I haven't altered his position permanently. He's still in that centre mid spot, but he's getting more space in the championship, it seems. And as such, it's having a great effect. The turn there was vital, just to open up the angle, and then, well, it's a rocket into that top corner, isn't it? Lovely turn, and then bashes it underneath the defender's leg, ever rising into the top corner. Lovely finish. His 2nd goal of the season. So far, my top goal scorer. 1-0 after 13 minutes at Pride Park. Morrison out to James Justin. Will go down the line there for Gooch. He's got the room to run into. Stand the cross up, and arriving at the back post was Harrison, but Jaden Bogle does very well at right back. Play we're familiar with, obviously, from our road to glory with Cambridge United. Very, very solid wing back. But I've been equally as impressed with James Justin, actually, since we brought him in from Luton. So we shouldn't, hopefully, have too many defensive problems once we get used to playing at the Championship level. But so far, we are having defensive problems. Derby 1, Sunderland 1. They've pulled one back. We're level now. Again, a nice flowing passing move that leads to a chance on goal. And ultimately, a goal on goal. 1-1. Gooch with the turn. Harrison. Go to Maguire. Out his feet well there, actually. We'll let this shot go. Alex Pearce with the block, and it'll be a corner. See what we can do. Ravel Morrison to deliver. It's a good whip. Oh, Sean Maguire. What a goal that would have been. Jaden Bogle with a deflection. I think it was already on its way wide, but Bogle made sure. Another good delivery by Morrison. It's going to drop here for Lyndon Gooch. Tackled by Aaron Lennon, but will turn and keep possession. Don't necessarily want the little back heel there, but been very fortunate with that's fallen back to Lyndon Gooch, and Morrison could turn provider here, looking for a teammate through the gap. Harrison's there, it's going to drop kindly, and Maguire will say thank you very much. And he has another goal for us this season as well. 2 goals for Ravel Morrison, 2 goals for Sean Maguire in the opening 2 games of the season. We're 2-1 up.
Now they've got a chance in this part of the pitch.
Lovely ball through to Josef soon. Cutbacks there. Inside, and no! It's going to squeeze under Bettinelli. Derby a level before the break. Oh, I can't believe that's gone underneath the keeper like that. It's another really nice move from Derby. Nice sort of drop of the shoulder, ball inside, and oh, so unlucky there, Bettinelli. So unlucky. It's not going my way so far in the Championship, is it? Certainly trying our hardest, and we are doing, to be fair, for a side recently promoted, we're playing some decent football. We're scoring goals, which is the most important thing, but we are conceding a handful too. Ooh, I thought we might have been able to score another one before half-time, but I don't quite think now that that's going to happen. To Scott Malone. Desart to Malone again down the line. Looking for Aaron Lennon, but it will be Jack Marriott that picks up possession. Back nicely there to Desart. Oh, he's gone for goal. Bettinelli nearly caught out. Saves it at the near post, but he's complaining to the defenders in front of him. Bandinelli, scorer of their first goal, takes the corner short to Aaron Lennon. Back there to Thomas. Could shoot. Bandinelli plays the 1-2. Thomas does eventually shoot then at the second attempt, but Justin with a block. It'll be another corner. I don't think they'll go short this time, or are they going to? No, I think Bandinelli's going to whip this, and indeed he does. Jimmy Dunn's up. Jimmy Dunn clears. Thomas inside to Desart. You were trying to win it back. Nice football around the corner. Oh, good save, Bettinelli. That's much better from him. Diving away with his right hand. They're going to take this short, aren't they? Bandinelli to Aaron Lennon. Cross comes in from there, but Yearwood heads away. Maguire trying to just get away from the man that's with him. He's done that well. Here's Harrison. We'll wait, and play the ball around the corner. Come on then, Lyndon. Let's get ourselves this third then. Ravel Morrison is in space in the middle, and it's him that will look for Morrison. There's the third goal. We lost 3-2 in game 1. We might be winning 3-2 in game 2. So far, the Championship means goals. 10 in our first 2 games. Down the line, looking for Ed Murphy. He takes it under control well, but can't keep it away from Scott Malone. It's a nice turn from him, and if they score now, that will be game. At 3-3, it'll be a point here. Oh, and he smashed it in at the near post. Dived there with the defender, which forced him to go higher with the effort, which meant that it rose really nicely into the top corner, and it made it even more difficult for Bettinelli to get to it. Lovely ball down the channel there. And he's just gone above his leg, the defender. He's thrown himself at it there, Max Lowe. So close to getting the block on it, but it's the shot power that beats the keeper. It's going to be a draw for us here against Derby. Thought our overall play deserved the win on this occasion, but it's not to be. Just a point from our opening 2 games at championship level. More creative in that one though, and scoring more goals as well, but conceding just the same. So this new centre-back signing can't come soon enough as far as I'm concerned. Waiting for scout reports to come back with a loan offer for Kim Poyoka. I'm fine. Reece James wants to play more. The minute, mate, you're not getting the opportunity. Right, I can now go and actually sort the striking now. Or sort the training, sorry, now for Harrison Green. Let me go and do that. And then we shall see if we get scout reports back before that game against Scunthorpe. Right, we've gotten as far as Scunthorpe away. No scout reports returned yet for the centre-backs. Jamal Lowe is back from injury and in first-team training, but not fully fit for this next game. However, I've created a rotation side now for situations like this Carabao Cup game, where I want to give the youngsters the chance to get at least some form of regular football. So we'll play the Carabao Cup games, and I'm not, depending on how we're doing in the league, depends on how seriously we take the FA Cup when it comes around. Doesn't look like we're going to get much further in the Carabao Cup though if the scoreline stays as it is. It's 1-0 to Scunthorpe at half time, as Olamola's 10th minute penalty is still the difference past the hour mark as well. If we could have a chance, that'd be great. Anything at all, lads. Right. Well, we're out of the Carabao Cup. They got the first team football they were asking for, specifically people like Reece James. Bali Mumba asked for first team football as well and is pleased to have been given the opportunity. You are welcome, my man, but unfortunately not able to make the difference on that occasion. Bali Mumba's a player that really could be quite something for us in a few seasons' time. Kim Poyoka's been loaned out. Transfer offer in for Sean Maguire, which we shall reject. He's obviously going nowhere at this stage of the save. Still waiting for scout reports to come back on these centre-backs, though. Getting there. Malpay as well. Could play it right back as well, Esri Konsa. Ben Godfrey can play midfield too. Wait and see. All 3 options that you've given me do look like they're genuine contenders for that first team starting centre-back spot alongside Stephen Corker. Corker will start. Obviously, Jimmy Dunn is younger and has more potential, but his natural potential will mean that just the way that the game is coded, he'll grow regardless of whether he's played or not. So I'll play someone higher rated alongside Corker, and then when Corker moves on, Jimmy Dunn can come back into the starting lineup. So Jamal Lowe is at 100% fitness, but still has that little plaster, or 100% stamina, still has that little plaster symbol next to him. So we will play him here against Reading. Maguire and Harrison were creating a decent partnership. So Ravel Morrison gets on the score sheet again at the championship, or in the championship, sorry. This is our first simulated game at this level. We are at home here, and we're looking positive for a win. Harrison has come on for Lowe. Gooch with a penalty and then a red card immediately afterwards. Not sure what that's about, but our first win at championship level comes against Reading. Not the easiest of starts to the season, to be fair. A loan offer for Sean Maguire now from Deportivo La Coruña. That's obviously going to be a no. A loan offer for Jonathan Watson from Boca Juniors. That also is going to be a no. And Lyndon Gooch is going to be suspended for this next game, but not that matters because we're going to be playing the rotation side anyway. Because it's just 24 hours later here against Sheffield United. So we shall simulate this one as well. Also replace the players that aren't available. It's going to be a chance for the youngsters again to have a go because the first team just aren't going to be anywhere near fit enough by this point after that game of the weekend against Reading to have played this one. Good start with Jack Clark, immediately then ruled out by Lundstrom's 60-second or less than 60-second later equaliser. Jack Clark finding himself on the fringes at the moment, but I might put him back in for the next played game in tomorrow's episode because Sam Nicholson hasn't been too impressive. He's missed a penalty there, unfortunately, Jack Clark. Sam Nicholson hasn't been too impressive, and I think Nicholson's extra pace will just come in handy off the bench more so than it is right from the beginning of games at the moment. So let me swap them around in this team and do the same in the first team sheet too. So Nicholson out for Jack Clark on that side of things. Still waiting for those scout reports to come back. They're taking their while, or taking their time at the moment. We'll have a quick train. Do Bennett and Turner. See if we can get Bennett slightly higher as well, to be fair. He might be the Stephen Colker replacement that we're waiting for. Potentially, he has that, or the opportunity to become that player. A loan offer for Liam Bennett as well, as we're speaking about him, from River Plate, but that will be rejected. It's Sheffield Wednesday next. We're 10th in the league after 4 games, which is a very respectable start to the championship season. And now the scout reports are coming back. Concert, Godfrey and Maupay. Interest shown in Che Adams apparently, but we're not looking for a striker at this moment in time. And the way the goals have been going in so far, I don't think we're going to be looking for a striker at all. Although, to be fair, the goals have been coming from midfield more so than anywhere else. So, Tomori's highest rated. He's obviously fast, relatively strong, and at 6'1" is an inch taller. He's 22 years of age. Well, they're all 22 actually, to be fair, but looks decent in the tackle. Esri Konsa, still very capable physically, and technically not as advanced. Better on the ball, but not anywhere near as good in the tackle. And Godfrey is still very good physically and strong too. Good in the tackle, good at passing, but not the best technically, or with the ball at his feet. £16,000 a week. So wages are quite high. Well, Konsa would be relatively cheap. Wages are quite high for Konsa and Godfrey, but Tomori, being in the German leagues, is only at 9.1, but his valuation is high. And I don't mind paying that, and he would be more of an obvious improvement on what we've already got. So I'll try for Tomori. If we can't get Tomori, we'll go for Godfrey, and then trickle down from there. But hopefully we can get a deal decided here for Tomori. So we shall offer a transfer fee of 8 million and see if they're willing to negotiate from there. I don't know how much they'll want from 8.4. Sold, sir. That's that done. That's superb for a player of that quality already at this stage of his early stage of his career. I'm not sure what his overall potential is for Keo Tomori, but certainly he's going to be able to be a rock at the back for us in the opening start to this championship season. We have been conceding quite a few goals. What's he on? He's on 9. I'll offer him 12 and a signing on fee of 200. I don't know if he'll want more than 12 or if they'll just accept 12. 13 and a half. I'm willing to do that. Right, we have ourselves our new centre-back then. The player that we were looking to bring in, more so than anyone else, was a new centre-back, and he has now arrived. So Jimmy Dunn drops out the starting lineup for the time being, and Tomori will take his place. We will eventually sell Jack Baldwin as well, I would imagine. Corker will stay for the time being as well, and it'll be Sheffield Wednesday at home that we play next. What sort of season are they having so far? We'll scroll up because that's normally where Wednesday find themselves, but actually they're down in 13th there. We're only 2 points off the playoffs, so it's Leeds that lead the way with 4 wins from 4 so far. It's a different Yorkshire side that we play first. They lost to Leeds 2-1 in a previous game earlier on this season, Sheffield Wednesday, but that's no slight on their account. Morrison gives... Wow, Ravel Morrison is loving life right now, isn't he? What a start to the season he's had. Mahi equalises for Sheffield Wednesday after half an hour, but Jamal Lowe, back from injury, gets his first goal of the season at this level. 4 minutes before half time, and Sean Maguire adds to it. Not long after. Right, pleased with that. Should be then 3 points here against Wednesday, and is. Was that the last game of the month, or was there to be one more? I think there'll be one more, won't there? It was Morgan Turner and Bennett that we trained last time, so it'll be Watson and Watson that we train next. Neither going up yet, but finishing, improving there for the striker Watson, which is good news. We have 4 strikers at the club. Who was it we had at the end of the month? It was Brentford. Of course, we were looking at Consi, and Maupay, who's also on the shortlist, used to be at Brentford. When we started the save, at least, he was at Brentford, now at Monaco. AC Milan have been making moves in the window, signing Manuel Akanji and Danny Carvajal in this transfer window. We've had a transfer offer here for Reece James. Now, I'd be willing to consider that. Because he wants first team football that I can't give him. He wants first team football that I can't give him. And I have youngsters that can fill the spot. So I'd be willing to negotiate this and let him go if they'll pay a decent fee for him, which they might do. 2,250. We'll try 2,550. And if they'll go above 2.4, they can have him. Well, they've gone above 2.4, so they can have him. Looks like Reece James is on his way out now. Only 71 rated. Probably not good enough for the level we're playing at anyway, regardless of whether he's itching for first team football and questioning his spot at the club anyway. So we'll take that, and then that will give us some more money to maybe spend in January, or maybe save for next season's budget and then drastically improve the side. But with Brentford away in this one, we're in decent form. We're rising up the table. We've been slowly improving. We lost the first game, then drew the next, then won the next. And to be fair, probably should have won the game against Derby as well. Maguire equalises from the penalty spot a minute before half time here after Watkins had given Brentford a 1-0 lead. Ollie Watkins still at Brentford here in this save, and Drew Yearwood gives us a 2-1 lead away from home against Brentford, and it might be 3 points from London, and indeed it is. We shall take that, thank you very much. That might well put us in the playoffs now. It has just done so. We are sneaking into the bottom playoff spot as things stand, but not sure how long that will last. Ward is up to 67 rated now. From tomorrow's episode onwards, of course, now that we're out of a transfer window, we'll be back up to 3 played games per episode, meaning that we'll get probably some more mixed results. 2 home games, 2 away games, so we'll play the away for sure. So it'll be Huddersfield and Luton that we play, and one of Plymouth or Birmingham. We shall make the decision at the given time. But let's end the transfer window then. Get another offer in maybe. Oh no, it's confirmation that Reece James has gone, which is good news. Nicola Pepe to Manchester City there for £56.5 million. Alexandre Lacazette to Paris Saint-Germain for 56.3, and for 54.6, Odriozola from Real Madrid to Chelsea. Some big moves going through in the window so far. We have 18 million left in our transfer budget, but we're not spending it as of yet. Obviously started the season quite well. We don't want to be too astronomical with regards to our progression, and we want to keep it at least slightly realistic. £180 million spent so far today. That's up to 237, but no massive deals to break into the... Oh, there might be a bigger one now, though. No? Okay, just... Borja Mayoral's forehead has gone to Bournemouth. £383 million spent so far on transfer deadline day. Again, another jump of about 80 million or so. A loan offer for Ed Murphy that I shall reject. Ed Murphy will stay, train with us, and play the odd game as well. £460 million spent, but none big enough to break into these top 3. That was Hermoso, the centre-back, has gone to Atletico Madrid. Whammies for all of the foreheads moving in this window. Hopefully little things like that are fixed for FIFA 20, because they've already said that they're not working anymore on FIFA 19. At least on the gameplay side of things. Perhaps for little things like that they might actually fix them, although my faith in that is completely diminished. So we'll wait and see. And finally we have a transfer offer for Lyndon Gooch, which we shall reject. He too has been one of our best players throughout the save. So £643 million spent on transfer deadline day, but only a little bit from us. Harrison Green is now being trained. Once he reaches 60 rated, so when I call him up we can see his overall potential, or his potential tagline, which should be potential to be special, I would like to think. 86 to 92, maybe it'd be the one just underneath it, but still looking like he could become a very capable player for us, providing he doesn't have 1-star weak foot, 1-star skill moves, which is a genuine possibility unfortunately at this moment in time. But tomorrow we shall see if we can keep up with the decent form. I'll try and improve in the play games, get some wins there as well as the simulated ones. But we look like we might be playoff contenders this season. I did simulate a lot of league games there, and there'll be a number of months where we'll play more than we'll simulate. Just so happened that this was a transfer window, so it was the other way around. We shall wait and see. We shall wait and see. But Ravel Morrison and Sean Maguire have certainly started the season in the right manner. 9 goals between the two of them so far. Let's hope that continues. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss out on any more of this save. And I'll see you next time.